for the moment. Ain't outside there agoraphobic. If you see me live, you would know it. Jumping on my do aerobics by sight P98.
Tonight, it's the National Football League. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Tyler Huntley and the Baltimore Ravens.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, standing 6'1" from Utah. It's Tyler Huntley.
A 3-year starter at the University of Utah. He got his NFL opportunity as Lamar Jackson's backup in Baltimore, mainly because he possessed similar qualities. Excellent runner, big-time arm, just has to grow in accuracy and avoiding mistakes.
A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. That's to about the 28, second down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Huntley to throw. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's got room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 27. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 45 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. And they run with Edwards off the option. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Here's Huntley. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes it to Boyd. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
Here we go. Hey, can.
Throwing again on second down. Burrow, and that's off the mark, incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 4.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Out of the gun, it's Burrow, and that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Fourth down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. James Prochet deep for Baltimore.
$39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Ready?
They'll start out here with the option left. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think his big boys up front, that offensive line, they've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
To throw, Huntley.
Flush to his right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
Back deep, Trent Taylor. Oh, what a move. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Burrow looking to pass. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. He'll fire this complete to Hurst down the field.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the 31.
Burrow trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
It's the sackmaster, Justin Houston, who comes up with it.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Cougar 19.
50 seconds to life.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Looking to throw on second down. Huntley, right side. There's Likely with it. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
2nd down and 3. He'll decide to keep this once more. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Ravens taking the field. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down. And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler.
Still first down.
Operating from the gun, Huntley, and that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll try the draw here with Dobbins. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Here we go. Stretch the eagle.
Throwing on 1st down. Huntley.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and run the option left side. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the 1st quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Here's Burrow.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. These two teams all tied after one.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Huntley. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Jordan Stout now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati set to take over once again. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Here we go.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. There's the athleticism of Tyus Bowser on display. Wrapping him up, no problem. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
On 1, ready?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon, and he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
On one, ready?
I'm here all day. Watch time.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Here we go. Here we go. Ready?
I'm coming after you.
Hey, check back.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals have moved out in front. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And he returns this to the 22. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball at the 23, second and 8. Looking to throw. Huntley. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third and 8. Operating from the gun, Huntley. He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins. That's going to bring up fourth down, only a gain of 2 there.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Ooh, with a juke. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be second and 10.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Burrow on first down. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The sack there by Roquan Smith. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate, Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Burrow will throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They'll start on the ground here on first down. To about the 33-yard line.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd and 6.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Watch the right. Ready.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, Huntley. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 69 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Back to throw. Huntley. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a throw here to his running back, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
Well, they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Get ready. 50 seconds. Mike, 50 seconds.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch him close to the spot.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man, Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll look to throw again.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Tucker's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here we go. 5, 6, bring it. Here we go. Right 80. Right side. 6, 42.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Gun. Shot. Don't get nervous. 80. Shot.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here we go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt.
A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And the half will begin with a touchback. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now they go play action now. Burrow.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. They'll look to throw here.
And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
T. Higgins,
35 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
McPherson on for the point after. It's good, and it's 21-10. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll start with the option. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Second and 8. He's going to keep this again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Huntley to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And out now, here come the Bengals. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here we go. Here we go. Right 80.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Again, that's Hurst.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Burrow, he completes it to Boyd. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Get set. 180. Nice up. And bring it. Hey, check back, 6.
Mixing up the middle. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal from 28 yards out. McPherson's kick is good, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway, 30. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. 124 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Here we go. Set. Cougar 19.
On first down, they go option to the right. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Ready, set.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Huntley. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, We're not going away.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. First down. Here's Burrow. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Inside handoff to Mixon, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Play action. It's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's Boyd, and he goes out right around the 39. Burrow to Boyd there for the Cincy first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Burrow looking to pass. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 35. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the two-point conversion. The quarterback will keep it himself. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and the Bengals grab it.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you've got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be.
Here we go.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete.
They always say the real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A handoff running left, Mixon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
On 2, ready?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 15. Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyus Bowser coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. To throw, Huntley. He finds Bateman over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Ready? 1918.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw on 2nd down, Huntley. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Here we go.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
1-1, ready?
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. He finds his man, complete. That's Boyd.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To the air again, Burrow. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
McPherson's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's in a full run by the time he gets the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's the tight end Hurst with it.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Burrow going to get this out to Chase, and they're going to get this up to midfield.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here we go. 180. 180. Hey, check back, 6.
From midfield now, Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 4. They go play action with Burrow. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 4. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Now Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off, because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. But that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Come on. Hey, grab the line. Who that? Watch the twins.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. The Bengals offense returns to the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was, and they'll keep possession of the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Here we go.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Here we go.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
Here we go. Hot. 180. What is hot? Check back. 6. 180.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So the Ravens now down on the scoreboard. A little under 1:50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Huntley connects with Duvernay. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Huntley. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive,
It's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now Huntley. Eluding the pressure right. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the first down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Well, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, but they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bengals drive about to get going. Burrow. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down. Second and 10 now from the 27. Now Burrow. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we race the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy.
Yeah.
In addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.